Today, we are going to be talking about the post-pandemic workplace. So I've shared my screen. This presentation will be made available to you after the presentation is over. So if there's anything that you see within the slides, don't worry, you will have access to the slides after the presentation. So again, we are going to be talking about the post-pandemic workplace and preparing for the next normal or the new normal. So what do we already know about the post-pandemic workplace and the pandemic workplace that's going on right now? So we have seen a huge rush in people working from home now more than ever because of social distancing and keeping away from other people. So this necessarily really isn't a bad thing. What companies are seeing is that they can save an average of $11,000 per person when employers let their employees spend half of their time working from home. And this is all according to Global Workplace Analytics, which also estimates that work from home initiatives save US employers over $30 billion a day during the COVID-19 crisis. So we've seen that working from home really isn't a bad thing. And also when companies or part of the workforce is working from home, we are reducing the carbon footprint because we're limiting the commutes to and from work and work travel as well. So because of these reasons, what do we expect in the future? We think that people will continue to work from home even after the pandemic because we see the capabilities and really the amount of money that's being saved when you have some of your workforce working from home. So what we don't know, what is it going to look like post-pandemic? Are people going to come back into the office, or are they going to remain working from home, even partially, or set different hours? So these are some of the things that we need to explore post-pandemic. So what do we know? The world is different now, and it doesn't seem to be going back to normal anytime soon. Before the pandemic, 13% of the workforce was already working from home, and this increased by 34% after the pandemic began, and now we have about 47% of the workforce currently working from home. So that's about half of the workforce at home or on some type of hybrid schedule. Now, taking a look at this, we can see that about 56% of workers in the US have some type of job that allows them to partially work from home. That being said, why not work from home when half of your workforce is capable of working from home and saving you some money? And also, it might be a while before things, or if they even do return back to normal. It's expected that about 30% of the workforce will be working from home by the end of 2021. So what does this mean for you, for employers, for large companies, small companies, school districts? It means basically that the workplace is really now just a workspace and not necessarily within an office with all of your coworkers in one spot. That being said, distance really isn't a problem anymore. You can have employees working from anywhere in the United States or even outside of the United States. And the capabilities that we have now with video conferencing and collaborating online allow for this to work efficiently within the offices or within your workplace. So, how do you deal with the new normal, what's going on right now with people working from home, and prepare yourself for the future of your company and what that's going to look like if you're going to have some of your employees staying at home or working from home? Number one, we need to embrace this work from home initiative. It doesn't seem to be going anywhere. It allows your company to save money. And with the advancements in technology, it's something that companies should take advantage of. So you need to equip your workforce with the tools that they need to efficiently work from home or partially work from home or in the office. And you need to prepare not only your workspace within the office, but also your workspace from home. So, embracing the work from home, you need to evaluate the opportunity and conditions. So, in other words, you should be asking your employees and taking a look at what job functions each of your employees has. For instance, maybe for one worker, it might be good to work from home or adequate to work from home, but some others need to be in the office. So you need to figure out which employees are capable of working from home and which ones need to come into the office. You also need to ask your employees what they think about working from home or working from the office. Maybe some of your employees have too many distractions at home and would rather be in the office. And maybe some others would rather be at home because they feel like they can get more work accomplished from home. So these are some of the things that you need to start thinking about. And you also should be thinking about hybrid schedules. For example, the work times aren't really 9 to 5 anymore. When you have people working from home, you might have employees that start work early, maybe 7 a.m. instead of 9 a.m., so they can get things done, or intermittently taking breaks and working throughout the evening. If you have people coming into the office, you could also have half of your workforce coming in the morning and maybe half later on in the afternoon. Whatever works best for your company to keep social distancing restrictions and following the rules within the pandemic. So you also need to understand the hardware and the software that's available today to equip your work from home force. You need to assess the real-time communication tools, the video conferencing tools, working collaboratively on documents. Can your workforce work from home with their coworkers that are in the office on the same project? You also need to identify any gaps in those services. So if they don't have the means to work together, you need to look at some software that allows for collaboration with your employees. You need to inventory the equipment the employees are using. Are you issuing these devices for your employees that are working from home? And who is paying for those devices? Do you expect your employees to pay for those, or are you going to pay for them? So you also need to consider for those that are working from home, what is the efficiency of their at-home software and hardware, routers and networks, for example. Say you have a company that deals with sensitive information. For your workers that are working from home, is their network secure enough to have them working on that sensitive information and collaborating with someone that's, in the office or miles away? So you need to consider those things before sending some of your workforce or keeping your workforce working from home. You also need to prepare the workspace. So even within the office or at home, Let's say you have your workforce coming in and you need to analyze your floor plan. So what would allow for social distancing, the requirements? For instance, before the pandemic, you might have had a meeting room that had a room capacity of 20 people. But now that we are in the pandemic and even post-pandemic, maybe the capacity for that room should only be around 10 people. So do you need to add more meeting room spaces within your office? These are some of the things that you need to consider. Transitioning a room to a meeting room, does it have the capabilities for video conferencing? If you're going to have half of your workforce or a percentage of your workforce working from home, you're going to have more video conferencing. So these rooms need to be compatible for video conferencing hardware and software. You also need to address the hygiene and best practices within the office. For instance, the common areas within the office. Maybe there's a lounge. Are your desks too close together in the lounge? Do you need to get rid of some? Do you have enough hand sanitizer around in the office? Are your employees washing their hands enough times a day? These are all things that you need to consider when taking a look at how your company is going to be run now and even post-pandemic. So planning with the data that you have. In particular, we're going to take a look at Google Meets and how the video conferencing capabilities within Google Meets can help you plan for the future with your company. So as your employees return to work, how are you going to set things up? Are you going to have 25% of your employees come back and then 50% and so forth? Are you going to have them come back 9 to 5 or on a staggered schedule? And you need to plan your conference rooms and have them video conferencing ready for when they do come back. So we're going to be talking about Google Meets and the different platforms that Google offers in order to keep your workforce working efficiently, whether they're at home or within the office. So again, knowing your office and Meet usage today helps you to prepare for your safe office space tomorrow. Looking at your resources, where are your people within the building? Maybe you have a few different floors. If you do, you might want to have a conference room for each floor. That way you don't have employees all over the building during the day. Conference room capabilities, how many people, like I had mentioned, can safely fit in a room to keep that social distancing. Also, your meetings, the volume in the meetings, the audio quality in the meetings, whether it's good or bad. I'm sure we've all been on those calls, I know I have, where the audio cuts out or the picture cuts out, or you're in a large meeting and you have no idea who's talking because there's so many people in the meeting. And these are some of the things that we're going to discuss and how Google Meets and Google products can help alleviate these bad conferences or bad video conferencing. So your resources, you need to manage the resources that you have, checking the rooms and the room capabilities. Again, assign maybe some of your workforce to first floor, second floor, or one side of the office or the other side, and restricting, where they are within the office space. Your room insights, you need to view the occupancy rates for capacity for safety within your area, keeping in mind the COVID-19 regulations for your area. Conference room location, Is it near where your the primary people that are going to be doing the video conferencing? Is the meeting room near them, or do they have to travel to the meeting room or travel, through the office to the meeting room? What kind of meeting room hardware is available within these rooms? And these are the things that we're going to discuss with Google. And what is the protocol for cleaning these devices? Do you have the wipes, hand sanitizer within the conference room? You might have some hardware, or let's say a Jamboard, that gets pushed around from meeting room to meeting room, and you need to make sure that your employees are wiping these things down and they are clean. Or you might consider touchless options. All of these things Google does provide. So some of the solutions for the next normal, again, Google Meets is probably the easiest, or it is the easiest video conferencing platform that there is available right now. Google Meets is constantly adding features and changing the way in which the video conferences works, so that machine learning makes it much easier for your workers to be in a meeting, join a meeting, set up a meeting, and all of these different things. So you can join with Google Meets from any device that you have. For instance, you can have workers joining from a laptop. You can have workers within the office joining from their desktop, and you can even be in the car and join from your cell phone. Google makes it very easy for you to join from anywhere with one click. You don't need any long codes or to download anything to your desktop in order to join a meeting. It's very simple. So again, Google Meets keeps your remote workforce connected wherever they are and with any device that they might have. So you might have some employees that, have a stationary desktop that they work from, and they can connect from that device. They can connect from an iPad, a cell phone, like I had mentioned. And in fact, you can live stream your Google Meets from anywhere up to 100,000 in-domain viewers. So if you have a very large company and you're putting something out there to the company or making an announcement, then you can live stream your Google Meet as well. You can manage your employees through Google Meets. For instance, you can hire new employees over Google Meets, interview, have training sessions. All of these things can be done easily right through Google Meets. And you can also increase your team's culture through a Google Meet. It's very easy to use, and it maintains the human relationships that people are worried about. We're losing those relationships as we have a lot of the workforce currently working from home. And this isn't going to be changing. So let's take a look at some of the things that Google has pioneered. For instance, cloud-based video meetings from 12 years ago. Now, cloud-based video meetings allow for you to scale your meetings to size. So you might have a whole company-wide meeting that you need to schedule, and being in the cloud allows for you to do that right through Google Meets. Some of the milestones: in 2008, video calling in Gmail was launched. In 2012, Google Hangouts was launched. Google Hangouts and Hangouts Chat is basically when you want to chat with your employees, or you can chat within teams or groups within the company, rather than doing a video call every single time, and it's safe and secure. Video calling for G Suite was launched in 2018, and then in 2020, with the pandemic, Google Meet became free for everyone, which was very huge for companies, for school districts, and anyone really that needs to collaborate in any way. With everybody staying at home and quarantining, Google Meet became a huge platform for everyone. I know most of the schools in the United States are using Google Meets, and it's very easy to use for the students and for the teachers as well. So Google Meet now serves over 3.5 billion meeting minutes daily. That's 6,600 years of meetings per day. And this has increased since January by 30 times. And this is not expecting to decrease whatsoever. There are about 3 million plus new users on Meets every single day. And basically that's attributed to its ease of use and all of the different features. We're going to take a look at some of those that you can utilize within Google Meets. So there's hardware and software for Google Meets wherever you are working. I know a lot of people follow a hybrid schedule in work and in school. And you can be on a Chromebook, a desktop, anywhere within your home or in the school district or in the work environment and chat live with your students or with your coworkers and employees. So we're going to talk about some of the different use cases for working outside of the office. For example, a CEO might have an executive home office where they have an all-in-one Jamboard, and we're going to talk about the Jamboard a little later through the slides here. But the Jamboard is a very large screen that allows for collaboration. It's pretty neat and has some pretty cool features that we'll discuss, like I had said. But it is used within the school districts. There are a lot of rooms that have the Jamboard, and your students and your employees, whoever's using it, can collaborate as well on the Jamboard through their laptop, Chromebook. You can even join in a jam on your cell phone. Another thing that we have is the all-in-one Chrome base. These are very large screens that are touch screen and allow for high quality video conferencing. It's very easy to use, and all of these things come pre-programmed, so they instantly work with Google and they update on their own. So you also have the mounted Google Meeting hardware kits for the home offices, things like a flat screen TV if you'd like to keep your desk clean of any, devices, and which also offers high quality video and audio. And these are for the people that are in meetings, most of the day are going to want these devices. Also, the dedicated home office. You might have people working from home and they have a home office. Again, that Chrome base would be the perfect option for those that are in meetings all day. It's very simple to use. The setup is really easy. It can be shipped right to the home. You take it out, set it up. It's already integrated with Google capabilities, so it's very simple to use. And touchscreen. You can also have external peripherals for those that spend some time in video meetings, but they're typically working on their own or working on documents and things of that nature. So there is still high quality video and audio, and it is also compatible with any existing devices that you have, and these things are lower cost. A home desk, let's say, for instance, you have some of your workers that are working from home, but just have a desk available in a spare bedroom or in a basement. So they might need something smaller for their video conferencing capabilities. These things would be like a laptop or with a large screen for the video conferencing. Again, high quality video and audio, and it's compatible with existing devices. You can even take things with you if you are, sitting at the kitchen table. You might have the large format laptop with the 14-inch screen and the Bluetooth headset. So you can cancel out all those background noises as you're working from wherever in your home. And again, we have the Jamboard. This is what the Jamboard looks like. You can't see how large it is, but it's bigger. And it's basically a digital whiteboard. So we all know what the whiteboard is in the classrooms, writing on the whiteboard with the marker. And you can see there the two styluses. Those are kind of like the marker, and you can write and collaborate with teammates on the Jamboard. So you would see this Jamboard in a large conference room. And then you could have coworkers working from home, watching the screen as in real time as you are adding things onto it and collaborating with your teammates. You can also give them the link to the Jamboard as long as you download the Jamboard app, and you can all collaborate together, even on your cell phone. So this is something that's pretty cool, and they're constantly adding new features, and I'll show you some of those as we move forward here. So Google has partnered with some manufacturers to bring you some of these room kits that are already pre-programmed and capable of working with Google. All you need to do is plug them in. Very user-friendly. There's no downloading, upgrading, any of that. It does it on its own through machine learning. We have small kits, large kits, depending on the room size. Some are built for larger conference rooms within an office, and some as small as, just within your home in a tiny area for the home. They come with remotes. All you need to do, they're one touch, join the meeting, the high quality speakers as well, and cameras. So these are just some of the examples of the companies that have partnered with Google to bring you some of this hardware. Asus is another example, and they all kind of have the same premise, the small kits and then the larger kits for the larger rooms. And you can see the high quality smart cameras so you're able to see in the meetings, and the touch screen to join a meeting and end a meeting, and so forth. The speakers, a lot of these you can say, "Hey Google, start my meeting," and the meeting starts. So you don't even need to touch any of the devices, keeping things sanitary. Logitech is another example. Logitech has the Rally with the one-touch tap. You tap to start the meeting, tap to end the meeting. It's that simple. Here's a Chrome base that I was talking about. These are for people that are in meetings, for the majority of the day. The large screen, interactive, so it's a touch screen. You can move things around on the screen. Very easy install for your home office or for within the office. And then again, the Meet for Jamboard, you can see the size of the Jamboard here in this picture. Again, they're showing probably a teacher there because a lot of school districts use the Jamboard. It's really cool because you can collaborate with your teammates using the digital whiteboard. And another thing that's neat about it is you don't have to worry about there's a lot of machine learning within the Jamboard. So let's say that you have really bad handwriting and you have a meeting going on with some of the higher up people within your company, and you're scribbling things down. The Jamboard will convert what you're writing into text that's simple to see for your employees to see what you're writing down. So a lot of machine learning capabilities that make it very easy to work and collaborate with your team members right in Google Meets. And again, you can just add this link and they click on it, and there you are. Everyone is collaborating, whether they're at home, across the country or right there in the office, and you're all working on the same screen. And what's really neat about the Jamboard, when the session is over, this just gets stored right into your Google Drive. So later on, when you're thinking about, what was discussed in the meeting, what are some of the ideas, you can just go right to your Google Drive, pull this Jamboard session up, and everything is right there for you. And again, obviously not everyone is going to have the actual Jamboard itself, but you can download the Jamboard app, and it does all of the same things that the Jamboard would. You can jot down your ideas. This has sticky notes, and again, the machine learning can convert your text or your handwriting into text. And this is all available. You can download through the app, Google Play Store, or the App Store. Another really cool device is the Google Meet on Chromecast. So this little thing, like I said, everything comes pre-programmed. It's coupled with a webcam and microphone, and you plug it right into your TV. Let's say you have a CEO working from home and he needs everything to be, large, so it's like he's right there in the office. You plug this into your TV, and there you are. It's like you're in the office. You've converted your TV into a large screen, and you can join meetings that way. The Next Hub Max with Google Meets, it's just one device. It comes with the integrated camera, the speaker, and the microphone for high quality audio and visual. And you can join meetings, like I said, just using your voice. Hey, Google, start my meeting. And there it is. And it can be brought anywhere. So maybe you have a few of these in the office for your employees to use around the office. Very simple to use. And these are just some of the manufacturers that have partnered with Google to bring you all of these different hardware that we have now that's integrated with Google Meets. Here's some of the webcams. A lot of these IQ cameras can detect who is speaking and turn towards that person. Let's say you're in a meeting room with a lot of people. So they're because of the machine learning, highly integrated and capable of bringing you high quality video conferencing. And some of the noise canceling headphones, all of these manufacturers offer these noise canceling headphones. We all have had the instance where, you're on a meeting with somebody and you hear kids in the background or dogs barking, or you're in the office and right outside your office window, there is construction going on and you can't really tell what the person on the other end is saying. And this alleviates those problems with the noise canceling headphones. And these are all the manufacturers that carry those. So as an employer, what you would want to do is familiarize yourself with all of these different hardware and software tools that we have through Google. And you can get these anywhere. All you need to do is ask your Google supplier, ask somebody from Netkiller, ask Google directly. These can be shipped to your employees, shipped right to the office. They're very easy to use. It's not a lot of setup. You don't need to increase your IT within your IT department. So there's not a lot of overhead. Like I said, they upgrade on their own. So Google's making it really easy for you to keep, some of your employees at home, some in the office, and transition back and forth with these high-tech hardware. So an example of a large company that uses Google Meets right now, Burger King, they say that we're big fans of Meet. The speech quality is good. It is helpful to be able to see every participant. This is extremely helpful these days. All of our internal meetings are on Google Meet right now as we are all working from home. So again, Google Meets, Google devices, the hardware kits, the software, very user-friendly, and it makes it capable for a lot of your employees to stay home and for you to stay home and get work done without missing a beat, and in a lot of cases makes it easier for meetings, rather than setting a meeting, somebody doesn't show because they have to be here. Another great thing about Google Meets, you can record meetings. Google Meets will take attendance. So if you have employees that miss meetings, it can be recorded. It's stored right in your Google Drive, and this can get sent out in a company-wide email. Hey, you missed your meeting, and here's the information on it, or here's the recording from the meeting. So one thing you can do is get your rooms ready to support these video calls. And again, Google makes that very easy for you. The links that we have here, you can click on the link, and this will be provided to you after the presentation. Click on the link, and you can put in the dimensions of the meeting room that you have, how many people are going to be in the room, and Google will design the room for you, tell you where your cameras should be, what size and of the equipment you need, whether you need a large room kit, small room kit, and where everything should be positioned to give you the best quality video capabilities within that room. So this is something really cool. It's like a virtual room. I encourage you to check that out after the presentation. So now what? There's a lot of information that I just gave you, but again, like I've said throughout, it's all very easy, and there are people that are there to help. So don't panic. Nobody was ready for this, but we do have lots available for us to continue to work from home and to collaborate even better than we did before when we were all in the office. So start a plan, like I said, check out your office space, check out who in your company can work from home, and learn some of the things that you can do to provide for your employees, whether it be the hardware or software itself. Gather some data from your employees, from your office, to figure out what those what the regulations are, the COVID-19 and social distancing regulations are for your area. And then number one, ask for help. As a Google reseller, we are here to help you with the hardware as well as the software. We can tell you where to get these things. We can provide them to you. We can set up demos on any of the hardware kits that you've seen. So anytime you need help with anything, that's what Google and Google resellers are here for. So thank you, and that's the end of the presentation. If you do have any questions or you want to know more about something in particular, some of the hardware or software, or more about Google in general, please email us at sfa@netkiller.com. and we can meet through a Google Meet. Thanks.